middle of the back row. That's row number 10, so 29th on the grid for Ollie McRae. Hopefully, well, second time is the one for Ollie McRae. But we do have the green flag at the back then, so it will be all eyes to the lights very shortly. So clutches in, red lights are on, the revs rise, out go the lights, and we are racing for the Fine Audio and SF Parts Limited ThunderBike 500s, and it's a good start from your competition man Adrian Kershaw, but getting a slightly better start there is the number 16 of Luke McRae, because Luke takes a whole shot, he takes the race lead as he goes through the dip and in towards Druids. Looks like somebody doing a little bit of gravel trap in there, and down they go, unfortunately. But Ryder, there's a relatively slow get off there. It's just a little bit of a wiggle through the gravel, but Ryder is up on his haunches as Luke McRae leads the way ahead of Adrian Kershaw and Dan North. Right, where is Ollie McRae? He's fighting his way through, I suspect. I didn't hear what you just said there, Keith. I do apologise.
I was very sorry. I said I was watching Ollie McRae last time, and I think I put the mockers on him actually, because I was watching him make a dozen or so places from the start there. So yeah, I think this time we'll just let him go of his own way and see how many places he can claim. As it's going to be his brother leading over the line. Once again, we see the yellow flags telling everybody that there is somebody unfortunately stricken.
Oh, that's Ollie. He's at the back of the field and he's looking around. So it looks like he's got an issue with the bike there, unfortunately, for Ollie McRae.
Poor old Ollie, that's twice what a wretched day. We saw him earlier in the garage, just desperately trying to repair his bike. He pulls to safety, he comes the wrong way into pit lane, but you can forgive him that, even though it's very much a one-way thing. But he rolls to a halt. That's a great shame for Ollie McRae there, as he looks down, looking down the gear lever.
Yeah, can't quite see. We're kind of directly above him. It looks like the gear lever is still there. I'm trying to see if the chain's still on the bike, because we did see at Alton Park back in April, Josh Owens, he snapped the chain on the CB500, didn't he? So
looks like we lost Roland, unfortunately, there at Paddock Hill Bend on the opening lap as well. So that's a great shame for him. Take no further part in this particular race as McRae comes across the line for the second time, 55.032. You know what Luke would love to take home with him, of course, and that would be the lap record. Now, how many lap records have we seen here? I can only think we've seen two. One in the CB500s and one in the Rookie Mini Twins. That's the only two, isn't it?
I think we were close on a number of occasions. Thousands.
Rookie thousands, thank you. I knew there was another accommodate. That's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.
Ollie's back out onto the circuit.
Oh, wow. So whatever the problem was, it was obviously a very temporary problem, that's for sure. Okay, I'll find out if I can mark on that.
Pete Woodall has dropped to the bottom as well, unfortunately, Keith. So,
okay, now I did see Pete Woodall not make it across the line there. I did wonder if it was a timing glitch, so I didn't want to say anything about Pete there, but you're right, now he's actually gone all the way down. The guys at TSL Timing don't miss these things as a rule. Right, here we go then. 55.884. We see a green and a yellow from McRae. We see a purple and a green for a 55.086. So that shows you what the variation is. So that's, in theory, should be a better time with the purple and the green. But the green and the yellow for McRae is actually 0.2 of a second quicker. That shows you how quick the lad is going. As Jake Cordy comes across the line in third, and Dan North, again, he's right in the mix there, looking for another good finish.
Lap record in this one is currently Adrian Kershaw's from race
one. 54.640.
Yes, that's the
one. There you go. I can remember a lap record. I don't believe it. All good. Look at the change there. I think Osborne and Carver might have swapped places there. Look at the way the lights went out. We get confirmation of that when they come back to the line, as it's another purple there for Luke McRae. Here he comes, head in the shed. He would love to go away with a quartet of wins, but more important, lap. 7.68. He's just missing out by a tenth of a second. Again, we go back to this. It's fractions of a second in this game, and I tell you what, this has been one of those close to the lap record, but not quite days. It's been one of the worst I've ever seen, I think. Look at that gaggle of riders who just came across the line there. That was Marshall from Horner, from Hayward, from Carver, from Carter, from Dwyer. Those guys separated. Who's that? Siggins and Kearney also in there, separated by literally 2 seconds, covering all those riders, I think. Fantastic. Make their way, look at them, down the hill and to Graham Hill they are. Big long line of bikes. Some brave moves going on there.
Currently being led by Abby Marshall, who we saw this earlier on as well. It turned out to be a relatively lonely ride for Abby Marshall, but she was right in the fight, and she is in the moment as well, because there's 7 of them.
Sorry, mate. Pete Woodall's just sprung back onto the board there. So there we go. It wasn't Pete Woodall. That's good to see. So Ollie McRae right at the back there. We know he's got issues, or his bike's got issues, to be fair to Ollie. Roland we lost on the first lap there out of paddock as well as McRae comes across the line. 54.882, so nothing special there.
So we've got, what's that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oh, well, loads of bikes. There's so many, I can't even count that quick.
You ran out of fingers, mate. Unless you take your shoes and socks off, you're not going to be able to count more than 20, are you? And you're only going to get to 21 if you take your pants down as well. So
20 and a half. Declan Reeve has got a 10-second jump start penalty, unfortunately, and the number that drops him down to 9th in class, 17th overall. But on circuit, he is fighting with Northern Courty.
Yeah,
is Declan Reeve.
So that's all good news. Yeah, that's cost him dearly.
I can't believe how close. I mean, it's CB 500 racing, ThunderBike 500 here, and we can believe that this is how close it is. But
this is a great formula. It really is.
12, I think there are.
And there's going to be a few tweaks to the class next year, and Sean O'Hara will be covering that in his Everyman podcast. But everyday podcast, everyday race podcast. So we're going to give it the correct mention because
so this is where are we looking here? So we got Horner. He come across the line 16.3.
Yeah, that's a lot of bikes who came into a relatively small space of track. Basically, the gap between the exit of Druids, or halfway from the exit of Druids to Graham Hill, that is how many bikes are in that gap. They really are absolutely going for all of the 57s. They really are locking it up. So the quickest one in that bunch is Reeve, actually. He's got a 55.934, but of course he's only showing being in that bunch because he's been penalised. 54.707. Oh boy, that's less than half a tenth. No, whatever half a tenth. Yeah, got it right. Away from that lap record, and again he goes purple in one, yellow in the other.
Oh, 3 wide there. Sorry, Keith.
No, 4 5 into Paddock Hill Bend. How much do you like your racing? Oh, what a shame this is for the minor placings. I wish this was the top 10. So we'd really have to get the boys up to fever pitch. I'll tell you what, this is fantastic stuff. These girls and boys, quite literally, all having an amazing scrap out there. Look at them rounding Druids. It's got to be no more than a couple of seconds between the whole lot of them here. Down into Graham Hill we go. Oh, leader goes a little bit wide there, Abby. That is a pink putt. 3 abreast all the way to the 30s.
Colt Dwyer, number 26, and Abby Marshall to his left. He had Jamie Horner to his right, but Abby Marshall comes out on top at the moment. 3 wide at 30s, but well, almost a single file now through McLaren's and on towards Clearways and Clark Curve, but that is incredible. So if you're at the front of you are in 6th position, if you're in 7th position. If you are at the back of the group, you're in 19th.
Right, here they come then, and it's going to be 9th over the line there, so 9th down to 9th line,
20th now.
9th down to 20th, and that is going to be a spread. Okay, so what are we looking at here? 23.036, so that is 1.8 seconds. Let's call it 1.9 seconds, let's be generous. All those bikes are just, and they're just all, it's almost like they're parading rather than racing. It's not the speed, it's just how coordinated they all are. They're all keeping it very nicely together there, and at the end of the day, you can't say he's holding me up because as soon as somebody gets an advantage, somebody else goes past as well. So it's all chopping and changing. Out front, Luke McRae is now 9 laps into this race. He's 2.5 seconds to the good. Best lap of 55.014, so he's not quite able to claim that lap record. I do wonder if the lap record would have gone yet. They got, mate?
There's a good fight between Dan North, Jake Courty, and of course Declan Reeve on circuit, but Declan Reeve unfortunately has that jump start penalty of 10 seconds. But nonetheless, they're just having a great 3-way fight. It's Dan North at the moment who's up into 3rd position ahead of Jake Courty. In fact, Declan Reeves now in 4th ahead of Jake Courty, but this is for on-track position. Looks like further down the order, Abby Marshall, first of the rookies, coming under pressure now from Colt Dwyer on the inside, and Jamie Horner trying to go the long way around. And does it pay off? It does. So Abby Marshall drops to 3rd in that particular battle. Jamie Horner looks to the inside, I think that is, and a few changes of position further down the order. 2 wide, a little bit of a twitch there from one of the riders. Looks like the number 110 is that. It was. So the 110 of Will Kearney, the 4th of the rookie riders in that group.
Yeah, I think he's going to hang on to the 4th of the rookie riders in those groups, but I think he's going to drop back a couple of places. Interestingly, Luke McRae, if he put together his 2 best, fastest sectors, he would actually be on the lap record pace. All he's got to do is put the first and second sectors together perfectly. Over the line we go then. 2 laps left of this action. We're only 2 and 3 abreast into Paddock Bend this time, so it's slackened right off. But the group is almost split into 2 halves there, or let's see, a third and a third. And she's still second in the C1 class, but C1 class being led by Jake Cordy, who's 4th overall. However, Dan North in 3rd place. He's the man who's challenging for the championship. But Luke McRae, he's heading for a perfect weekend, isn't he, Luke? He has won, if he finishes here in 1 more lap, basically, he'll have won. He'll have picked up 100 points. So far, Dan has picked up 3 third places. Good result for anybody else at the end of the day. But if he picks up 4 third places, in fact, he's dropped to 4th place now. At the moment, definitely advantage Luke McRae, so I think we're not going to be crowning our champion until the last race at Brands Hatch again, as we go very desperately into Paddock Hill Bend. This great bunch of bikes arguing over the minor placings, which, let's face it, they very much are. Unfortunately, he really needs to get those 2 sectors together at the same time, but nonetheless, the 25 points is what he'll take. And is he taking his hand off the handlebar there, trying to get the aerodynamic advantage, speedway style? Oh, look at that, he goes even quicker in sector 2 there, 54.755, so he's actually taken just a fraction of a second, 0.004. He has taken 0.05 of a second away. So if we look at that, that would give him a 54.54.
Here comes that great fight involving 10 riders coming across the line now. There goes Colt Dwyer, Richard Hayward ahead of the 184 machine of Dean Carver. Then it's Ian Carter, Jamie Horner, Abby Marshall dropped a few positions on track, but still, in fact, she takes 2nd of the rookies and 2nd in the C1 class as well, ahead of Siggins, Baldry, Hamilton, Kearney, Goff and Finch. And having a look there. So at the on the 9,020th, there was 4.5 seconds.